Hello and welcome everyone to another mock tutorial. I haven't done one of these in a while. Today we're going to be taking a look at a small little technique that I use from time to time in my stop motion and mock videos. Now looking at the small creation on the left, this may look familiar because it was recently shown in my Jedi Temple alternative ending stop motion video. And today we're going to be talking about using these flat pieces to create fun angles. Now in this build, you can see we have the chairs right here at an angle. Now, you may just think that I'm doing a very easy technique of just placing one brick in between two flat bricks and then just sticking something on top. For example, see right here, boom, easy. But for this, it gets a little bit more complicated because I don't have a lot of this crimson red, so I had to connect it multiple times to see it's a few different pieces here. So actually, there are three different tiles connecting this in. Now, a few things to think about when making something like this that are very important is you need to put this tile in first, because the mistake I made is I put this chair in before I put the tiles around it, so I had to take it off and start over. And those tiles do show, like as you can see, the little bits peeking out are definitely visible, and if they were to say pink or blue, you would definitely be able to tell. Now coming back over here, you're probably wondering how I decided to make these pieces be where they are. And basically what you have to do is go one piece at a time. So I started out with my main piece and I put it in at the angle I wanted. I decided here would be good. So I took the legs and then I just kind of played with this kind of box right here because that's where they'd have to be. So once I got this one locked in like so, it matches up just about perfectly. Now this is obviously more ideal if you don't have to connect as many pieces, but this tutorial will show you how to do it both ways. And then you snap your other piece right in here, and the only thing missing is this piece, which can just sit loosely because it's in between two sections. The other one is basically the exact same, as you can see right here. So we have these two chairs right here. Pretty straightforward design. It's a little bit complicated, but if you know what to do, which is kind of the point of this tutorial, it should be really easy for you. I think it gives a really nice effect for mocks and stop motion. I'll throw up a few pictures of my favorite mocks. One of my favorite things about this mock kind of texture is that you can put a minifigure on any piece and then it looks cool because they can be at any angle. Now, moving on to our second little build here, I'm going to just quickly go over how to do this the easiest way possible, and for that I realize I'm missing a few pieces here. So just for the sake of getting this video done, I'm putting in random colors, but you'd probably want to stick with the black color scheme here. Now, it doesn't matter whether or not you use this kind of piece or this kind of piece. It really doesn't matter at all. I'm going to use this pink piece just because why not? And you'd stick your piece on. You could put it in any angle you wanted. And now, obviously, this is very easy to do because it's just one stud. Now, if you wanted to build, let's say, a stack of these in this little row, it gets a little bit more complicated because everything's at an angle. And for this, what I'd recommend to you is that you have a plan and you have to try this out quite a few different ways to make it work. Like for the chairs, I had to piece it together like a puzzle, and for this you'd have to do a similar thing. Now I didn't plan on showing you that for today's video, but basically if you were trying to make a stack, I wouldn't even connect the other two. I just do it like this. But if you want everything at an angle, I would definitely reattach. I mean, you can do this for now. I would use my tack or my putty, take your pick, to just hold them together if I didn't want to take out more of the floor, because these tiles right here look really nice and I'm really liking this design. But whatever fits your fancy, as a mock builder you really get to choose exactly how you want to do things, so this is the chance to choose which strategy you like the best. Now that we've been shown a few different ways to mount the singular chair and the singular box, I'm going to be talking about one last thing that is pretty important in my opinion, and we're going to need one more of these sloped with the stud piece. So we're going to put this out here, and when you're attaching something larger where you might need to connected at 2 points, I would really recommend doing so, even if you have a shortage of pieces. Because, for example, if we just connect it to the singular piece right here, as soon as we add anything else in, let's say we add in this box right behind it, it's going to move as soon as I place it down. And if you're going to be putting more stuff around it, I'd really recommend connecting it on both ends. Now if you have it at your angle, it's connected on both ends and it's going to be extra sturdy and it's great for building around. And that's going to be great because obviously if you're going to build up around this, you don't want it moving. And like I said, very sturdy, it's not going anywhere. So that's going to be a really great resource to use when you're attaching bigger pieces or just more pieces, because one of these for a smaller piece is fine, but as you move on to bigger things, you're going to want them to be more secure, because if you're going to be using it for any kind of stop motion, the slightest movement of your hand in the wrong direction might send this off like this, and then it won't look good at all in your shots. Pretty quick tutorial for today. Pretty straightforward, pretty simple. I just figured it was worth making because it's something I've been using a lot recently. And just for your reference, pieces that I like to use the most for this are these 1x1 pieces, because that's how you want to attach your single pieces. And if not, you can use a 1x2 or any other piece. And then I love using these flat pieces with the stud, because on the chair build, it wouldn't necessarily show all the time, but if you attach your thing here, and if it's a smaller thing, you still might see the rest of this tile, so having it flat on either side is really helpful, and it just works really well for me. 2 pretty easy models today, but they definitely help with this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you guys later.